A lot of people talk about working smarter, not harder. But what does it actually mean? What does it actually entail? Let me share 3 tips that I think are essential to implement in order to work smarter and not harder. Thank you Evernote for sponsoring this video. I will tell you all about Evernote and how I use it in my daily workflow later in the video, but right now let's get to those tips. Tip number 1 is focus on your priorities. There are so many opportunities in life. There's so many different directions in which you can go and projects that you can take on. However, we can't do it all. I'm sorry to disappoint you. You gotta pick and choose. And in order to understand what your true priorities in life and work are, you gotta, do some reflection and truly dig within yourself to see what is your priority. Or if you already know them, just make sure that you remind yourself of those priorities and focus on them, removing all of the distractions, removing all of the noise. We can't do everything, we can't be everything, we gotta pick and choose in order to really succeed, because otherwise we end up spreading ourselves too thin and not succeeding in any one field. So make sure that you have this foundation of setting your priorities and following them, and everything else, whether it's in your personal life or in your business or your work, everything else, filter it out. I know it is harder said than done, and I have some videos for you on how to say no and protect your boundaries, which I will leave a link to in the description and also up here if you're watching this on YouTube. But essentially, you need to protect your time. You need to protect your priorities. Tip number 2 for working smarter and not harder is nourishing your body and mind. We are biological creatures. This is what we have. This is what we have to work with. We are not technology. We are not artificial intelligence. I'm sorry to disappoint you once again, but we've got to work with what we have, right? If we don't nourish these machines, these biological machines, if we don't give them what they need, all the input that they need to create the optimal output, we are not working with our bodies, we're working against our bodies. So it's very important to make sure that you take care of yourself, that you nourish your body and mind. And what do I mean by that? Getting enough sleep. Think about it as charging your phone, right? You charge your phone, you gotta charge yourself. Get enough sleep, and different people need different numbers of hours of sleep. I need 7 to 8 hours to function properly. And my life has changed, so did my output at work. Once I started prioritizing my sleep, making sure that I get those 7 to 8 hours every night. Next, making sure that you are giving your body the fuel that it needs in terms of water and, the right nutrients, because your body needs all of these different elements to create energy, to continue function correctly, to make sure that your hormone levels are regulated. All that stuff. I'm not gonna pretend like I know biology and everything that goes on, but basic nutrition. It's all about balance. It's all about moderation. It's all about a lifestyle where you watch what you eat and you understand what effects it has on your body when you notice the patterns. Because some people get groggy after certain foods because, digestion sometimes puts you to sleep, all that stuff. Nourish your body. Water, nutrition, sleep, and of course, exercise. Exercise is great for you. There are countless studies that show that exercising for 30 minutes a day or more improves your health, your general well-being, etc. And it also improves your mindset and creativity, and it's just so good for your mental health. So exercise as well. Find something that you enjoy doing and do it. Whether it's going for walks, for bike rides, whether it's just dancing in your living room. And of course, nurturing your mind. First of all, I want to reiterate the importance of making breaks during your workday, because as we've already mentioned, we are not machines, we're not robots, we need breaks. And I've noticed when I create intentional breaks and when I combine that with exercises and changing my environment, my brain kind of resets, reboots, I don't know, but basically I have more energy, more creativity when I get back to work after a break. as opposed to just working through that entire time and just having diminishing returns on your effort. So take intentional breaks and make sure that you do other things that feed your mind, whether it's reading, listening to podcasts, getting ideas from all of these different stimuli, meditating, journaling, getting all of that mess out on paper. Those things help a lot of people, including myself. So look into it if you are not doing that already, because having your routine where you really nourish your mind and take care of it will honestly help you create better results at your work. And you got to be intentional about creating an environment for your body and mind that nurtures it, that takes you to the next level, that works with you, not against you, that doesn't treat you as an AI, as a robot, that uses your knowledge about what optimizes your performance, your creativity, your energy, your happiness, your joy, all of those things. What optimizes that? And making sure that your environment, that your routine, that your habits are aligned with that. And tip number 3 is optimize your creative workflow with a tool like Evernote. Everybody's workflow is going to look different based on your situation. And why do I call it creative? Because I believe that every single person is creative, no matter what your job title or whatever your daily functions are. You are creative, and you can be more creative if you have the right tools. Because those tools can enable you to create a workflow that helps you, that optimizes your creativity. Let me walk you through my workflow so that you can see what I mean and start seeing patterns on what would work better for you. It all starts in the morning after I'm done with my morning routine, when I've journaled, meditated, all that good stuff. When I review my priorities, I do it daily. When I review my goals for the day, I have 3 goals for the day normally, and then my to-dos that I wrote the night before. We will get to it later down the line when we get to the evening and how I do that. But I review those things first thing in the morning, and Evernote allows me to customize my home screen, which basically gives me a very nice overview, a very nice glance at what is going on, including my calendar, including my, potential meetings or focus blocks that I have for that day. Then it's all about diving into the work for the day, which of course depends on the goals for the day, the to-do items that I have on my list, but I use Evernote to track my tasks, and they're conveniently linked to the notes that I already have in the platform. So it's just, a very seamless process. And the beauty of it is that it's all synchronized between all of my devices. So I can be on my laptop, I can be on my phone or iPad. No matter where I am, I can track my tasks, I can create notes, etc., which is very helpful when I'm on the go and ideas come to mind, let's say during my break. Or a lot of ideas come to me when I can't fall asleep and I have to kind of lean over the bed not to wake up my husband because I'm just taking notes on my phone. It's interesting. I get the best ideas very late at night, and if I don't write them down, I can't fall asleep, and if I do fall asleep, I forget them. So that's why I need a robust note-taking system that synchronizes across different devices so that none of those creative idea moments are lost. Yeah, creativity is funny that way. It never waits for you. It just arrives wherever, and it's nice to be able to capture that and not to let it slip away. I refer back to my goals for the day and the tasks regularly to make sure that I'm still on track. And whenever, emails about different opportunities come, I go back to my priorities. I review them to make sure that if I do say yes, it is aligned with my priorities. And I have my priorities pinned on my home screen, so it's very easy to remind myself of that stuff. I really believe that it's so important to stick to your priorities. It's very nice to have everything in one place and to have it organized by notebooks, to be able to share and collaborate on files with your team or anyone else. Like, you can even collaborate on a grocery list or a potluck list with your friends. And you can create tasks, scheduling them for future events, which is very nice because if you are working on a project and you finished something and you're like, okay, in 2 days I need to do this, let's set a deadline or a reminder that I need to get it done. it's easy to schedule. And then at the end of my workday, I review what I have done that day. If I need to journal, I journal, after which I plan for the next day. And what do I do for that? I review if I have any pre-scheduled tasks for the next day that I've already scheduled beforehand. I review my calendar events if I have any meetings or anything like that. What do I need to prep? And I create my 3 goals for the day and my tasks that I will then review the next morning. But basically, this kind of completes the loop, and this way I wake up the next day knowing exactly what I need to prioritize, knowing exactly what I need to focus on. I was actually scrolling through my Evernote not that long ago, and my first notes are from 2015. I feel old. I've been using it for a long time. Let me know if you've ever tried Evernote yourself and if you're excited to try it as well. Evernote has different plans to fit your needs. I use Evernote Professional because it has all of the features that support my workflow. Learn more about Evernote and download it using the link in the description. Like this video if you've enjoyed it, share with a friend who might be looking for different ways to work smarter, not harder, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We can also be friends on other social media. You can find us as Stereotype Breakers. Have a wonderful time today you're currently experiencing. Bye.